Can you give us your opening statement, please?
Yeah, great to be here this evening. Glad to see everyone. Miss Houston. Spent a lot of time out here, and great to be back. Rattler Nation was here and supported, and I know they were excited about coming to Houston and watching this game. So glad to come out with the win. Obviously, the first half didn't play our best football, and really challenged the guys at halftime to just play team football. We were kind of playing individual football, and guys kind of doing their own thing. And we said we'll get what we deserve. And when we play together, we deserve to have the second quarter that we had. When we played as individuals, we deserve to kind of sleepwalk through the first half. So we're proud of the guys coming together. We still control our destiny. That's the number one goal. We want to be 1-0 coming out of Houston. We're able to do that, and did enough to win. So defense got going after a rough start. Still gave us too many rushing yards, but all in all, I thought we put it together. And then same thing offensively, was able to start moving the ball consistently in the second half. So proud of the guys. We'll watch the film tomorrow and make the corrections because here in Texas today, but got another Texas team coming to us for homecoming next week, and I know they'll be chomping at the bits to try to end our home winning streak and also put one on their old ball coach. So we'll be excited about that game. But all in all, great to get out of here with the win. Great to see some of the guys that I built relationships with back in the day as well.
Coach, let me ask this question. Charles Bishop, Dr. Fields inside the HBCU Sports Lab. What was the key to unlock the running game tonight? You guys had 50 yards at halftime, but you finished with over 250 yards rushing.
Well, one, just being committed to it. The first half, like I said, we weren't playing together. Guys weren't communicating. We weren't straining on blocks. We were coming off double teams too soon. And really, we just challenged them the second half to really just, stay on those double teams. And, we decided to attack the perimeter a little bit more second half, and we were able to get some big runs that way. And, of course, it helped to break a couple of big runs on third down as well. But just being committed to it, sticking to it, we challenged the guys to have that same intensity that we had week one, against Jackson when we came out and ran for 200 yards. And we hadn't eclipsed that since then, and we were able to do it tonight.
Coach Simmons, Wilson Cheney from UFM TV. You guys started off down 14-0 in the first half of this game, the first quarter of this game. And before Southern, you guys kind of were subject of slow start as well. What do you think you guys need to do in order to mend that as SWAC winds down?
Well, like I said, just play as a team. We came out first half and it was like 11 individuals running around the field as opposed to one cohesive unit. And, when we do that, we're hard to beat. And, saying that we kind of all corn back 10 years ago forever that 11 brothers are hard to beat. I grew up in a small town, and so, we all knew that family that if you catch one of them by themselves, you might get them. But if you see them all together, you might want to keep walking because they're gonna be hard to get with if they're all together. And that's what we believe as a football team. When we play together, I don't know if there's a team that can play with us. But when we play as individuals, we make ourselves very vulnerable. And first half of this game, we were very vulnerable because we were playing as individuals.
Coach Darian Gray, locked on HBCU. In your opening statement, you mentioned controlling your own destiny. And next week, with a win and a little bit of help from Alabama State, you do have the ability to clinch the SWAC East. Obviously, you're trying to make sure you take care of your own business, but is this something that you as a coach is kind of looking towards and thinking about in the back of your mind?
Our goal is to be 1-0. Homecoming's next week. We got to win homecoming. And, of course, chips will fall where they may. But the good thing about the position that we're in, we don't have to worry about anybody's help. We can help ourselves, and that's always the best position to be in. So we just take care of business and do what we are capable of doing. The chips will fall where they're supposed to fall. So not worried about anybody else helping us. We go out and take care of business. We'll be fine.
Coach, Jerry Woodard with the College Sports Report. Late in the second half, when you were not looking to hold on, but to continue to put pressure on Texas Southern to give up the ball, they went down 2 possessions and attempted to score, but things being what they were, your defense held. Let's talk about finishing the game, the last 4 minutes of the game.
Well, obviously, finish is one of our 7 Fs, and we pride ourselves on being able to put teams away. We hadn't started fast. Fast is another one of our words, but we've been able to finish, the right way. So that's an important component, and our defense really takes pride in being able to hold the line. And they came up with a big interception there late, busted the coverage there at the end, and gave up a late touchdown. But if you look at the total yards from the first half to the second half. Defense really stood up like they're capable of doing. So when you have a defense like we have, it makes it a little more easy, a little more comfortable going into that second half. Once we tied the game up, we kind of felt good that we'd be able to hold them. I think we figured them out. They hit us on some things early, but we made some corrections and adjustments at halftime, and the guys came out and played defense like we've been playing all year.
Dr. Fields inside the HBCU Sports Lab. Congratulations, Coach.
Appreciate you.
Welcome back to Texas. It happened in this manner. With that being said, since we're going forward, can you explain a little more elaborate when you're talking about individuals playing as individuals versus playing as a team? What creates that environment? Is that socially in terms of this generation, or have you seen that among teams before? Where does that come from? And then what techniques or things you try to do to have them understand the need to play, as you said, effective brothers or one?
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head. I think it's generational. I think today's generation really, I don't want to say preaches individualism, but it's kind of at the forefront of everything we see. All the success stories are about overnight successes. It's about one person doing it, and all you see about is that one person. They don't talk about the behind the scenes, all the people that helped them, all the hard work they had to put in, the assistance along the way. It just talks about that individual. And everyone now is trying to, quote unquote, secure the bag. That's the term they want to use, secure the bag. Well, when you have that mindset, sometimes you forget that it takes other people to help you do that. And this football team is a microcosm of that at times. At times we're more concerned about how we look, our stats, our touchdown dances, our social media influence, and what scouts are at practice. It's all about me. And that's something that as a coach, we really try hard to weed out. And, I can't do it alone. I need the help of my assistant coaches. I need the help of my leadership council, our support staff. Everyone involved has to really continue to pour into these young men and make them understand that success in this life never comes by itself. You never become successful by doing things on your own. Even golfers have a caddy, somebody they got to listen to and trust. Tennis players have a tennis coach. Even the individual sports have people that coach them. No successful person goes about this thing alone, and that's something that, again, this generation is being kind of just fed daily. And, it's a tall task. I tell you what, I talk to coaches around the country, and it's the same thing. And if you hear coaches' post-game speeches or their Sunday team talks, you hear it centered around that very point a lot. And I talked to a couple of them. I told them when they find a magic formula, let me know, because I'm still looking for it. But it is a challenge to try to get this generation to understand what playing as a team feels like. And it was amazing. I was watching the WNBA finals the other day, and just to see how those women came together and just played together and how they celebrated together. That's what it's all about at the end of the day. But it's increasingly more difficult with this generation than maybe when I first came into coaching to get guys to play together as a team.
One quick follow-up question. Obviously, this is third year, so it's becoming an iteration, but because of the scheduling, this is the first time Texas Southern and then next year Prairie View rotates on the schedule. We always have these arguments about Florida athletes, Texas athletes. How is your team in regards to any level of excitement about having a chance to come to Texas, in this case, play Texas Southern University, to match up with a lot of them talk about this state-to-state rivalry up in there?
Yeah, no, they talk about it a lot. You listen to Jordan Moore, man. We call him Mr. Texas. Since the moment he stepped foot on campus, man, it's Texas this. Texas got beat a few weeks ago, University of Texas, and I had to console him. Like, hey, man, you good? You okay? Like, it was a bad day for the state of Texas about 3 weeks ago. I can't remember. You guys may remember, but like Texas lost, Texas A&M lost. The only team that won was the two teams in state played each other, so one of them had to win. But every team in the state lost, and he had a bad day, man. It was just, but it's all in fun, Of course, I spent 3 years out here, so I heard it. I'm from Florida. I've said it. There's great football in the state of Florida. There's phenomenal football in the state of Texas, California. If you're in the South, you're going to more than likely play good football. But just the sheer numbers of the people in these states allow us to have a lot of really good players. But the top 20 players in Texas, Florida, Louisiana, Georgia, Mississippi, if you just throw them out there, they're all about the same. we got so many more people that once you get to about numbers 40, 50, 70, 100, you're still looking at 3, 4 stars when you get into the hundreds. Whereas in Mississippi, once you get outside 20, you may be looking at 2 stars. But it's a blessing to be in 2 really, really great states for football. I spent 3 years out here in Texas and was able to recruit some really good players. And now I'm in Florida for 6 years and been able to recruit some really good players from there. But in Texas, I had Florida kids. Now in Florida, I got Texas kids here. So, I mean, we're going to try to find the best players in the country. And it's great to be able to dip into Texas and grab a few. We're going to try to take a few more before we leave.
Don't get too comfortable. Don't get too comfortable. Hey, and speaking of Texas kids, what is Sharif been giving you?
Sharif C?
Yes.
Just tenacity. You know, he's an older guy, graduate, played a lot of football. You know, was at Southeast Louisiana and came to us and has really given us a force at defensive end. He's more of a run stopper, so gives us that physicality to the field. Anthony Dunn's kind of the edge rusher to the boundary. And so it's good to have a 1-2 punch of a stout guy and more of a speed guy in Dunn. But he's a tenacious football player, plays hard, and now that he's healthy, he's really showing his potential.
I was talking about the receiver, Sharif.
Oh, Sharif. Jamarie, Sharif.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought you said Sharif still, sorry. Okay, Dot, what does he give us?
Yeah.
Oh, man, the electricity. I mean, he's lightning in a bottle. You know, he's leading the nation in punt return yards. Every time he touches the ball on offense, he's got a chance to go the distance. He's been a dynamic player for us since he stepped foot on campus 3 years ago. And when Xavier Smith had graduated, he kind of became our go-to guy. And he embraces that role. He's been fighting through some little nagging injuries. You know, he's not the biggest guy, but he's Mr. Excitement. You know, it's great to have him, and we're going to use him up. Hopefully we got 6 more games with him, hopefully. We're going to try to use him up all we can because when he leaves, we're gonna really miss him because he's a really, really great football player, but also a great individual. He's already graduated. He was crying tonight when he walked in the locker room, you know, just crying tears of joy and just being back at home, his family getting to see him play, and that's what it's all about.
It seems like you guys try to get in the ball in a lot of different ways. I mean, is that something that's by design, obviously?
Oh, yeah, it's by design. Just get him in the backfield, throw it to him in the return game. The more he touches it, the better chance we have for success. So we're going to try to feed OT as much as we can.
Last question.
Coach, let me ask this one last question. And I've been talking to a lot of defensive coaches around the league, but as an offensive coach, your perspective on this, and they talk about the phenomena of dropping 8 in coverage, how much pressure that puts on quarterbacks to try to be accurate, to try to come off first reads, things of that nature. But from your perspective, is it a more of a phenomena that you're starting to see more and more, especially they talk about with athletic quarterbacks, especially to try to force them to be accurate?
Well, it's a defense that's starting to pick up a lot of steam. It's not a new defense. People have been dropping 8 on third downs for ages, but now with the advent of spread offenses and getting athletes all over the field, you know, defensive coaches have kind of taken that same philosophy. Let's get the most athletes on the field as we can. So in this case, Texas Southern's playing with 6 defensive backs, and you got to have some guys that are physical in the run game because you're asking defensive backs, 175, 80-pound guys to get in there and mix it up in the run game. And the teams that excel at that type of defense, and it's kind of a Midwestern, most teams in the Big 12, you'll see some Pac-12 teams run it, but I think it kind of started when they were facing a lot of spread offenses. But it's one that you got to prepare for. It's unorthodox. You don't see it every day. And so the week of preparation that we had to try to scheme it up, it's very difficult because, one, the scout team, it's a task trying to get those guys to understand how to play the coverage. And it took us about 2 days before we got them to understand how Texas Southern played it. And then it took us a little while to adjust to it once the game started. You know, it's just not a defense that you see every day. But every defense has its strengths, and every defense schematically has strengths, and everyone has weaknesses. And you got to make sure that you're personnelling it to where you kind of hide or limit the weaknesses. Because obviously when you're dropping 8, that means you're only rushing 3. And if you got a quarterback that can buy time and throw balls in tight windows and receivers that can make tough catches in close windows, you may get yourself in trouble, you know. But I think there's no right defense or wrong defense, just like there's no right offense or wrong offense. It's if you have a full understanding of your scheme and what you're trying to do, and you recruit to that scheme and get your players to believe in it, you'll do well. And these guys have played really well at times in this scheme, and Fortunately for us, we were able to take advantage of some things in that second half. But I think you're going to see more and more of it as you see more and more spread offenses. But, that's coaching, right? You got to adjust to it.